shores of Santa Monica, California, as the markets opened higher this week and also ended higher. Well, the latest details on the big tech and half of Crypto Wall Street Live. Here is what Ethereum, and Decentraland did much of today. We had a big confusion that heated up yesterday with this quote. What did it mean and what was its impact? Lyft needs to take potentially a ride because it was down 30%, and Expedia may need to take a trip. Wow, the latest details across the board. Plus, we'll go over why there was no stalker coins today and what it could mean for the rest of the next week as well. We'll go over the late details of potentially more stimulus and why next week is getting very exciting because of a big economic number that's coming in next week. Oh boy, it's a big second half of Crypto Wall Street Live from the shores of Santa Monica, California. How are you? Tonight's broadcast, we're going to go over first the crypto, then we'll go over the Wall Street Lyft surprise, and then we'll get a preview of that econ data next week, the CPI. How are you? In tonight's broadcast, we're going over the implications of a Thursday tweet from Brian Armstrong, and it may have confused a lot of you, so let's start with that tweet right now. Crypto rumors that the SEC may get rid of crypto staking in the United States for retail consumers. This is a comment by the head of Coinbase on Thursday. My apologies that throughout yesterday I was saying stalking and instead of staking. What is crypto staking? And let me explain this to you. Crypto staking refers to basically a money market-like environment for your coin. Some of the platforms will say to you, you have $10,000 of Ethereum deposited with us. We will, or one of our partners will, give you an 8% money market return on that deposit. So you have $10,000 of crypto and we'll give you $8,000 money market return. That's what they did, or they partnered with someone else to do it. And the SEC said, no, you cannot. And that's referring specifically to crypto staking, not to all crypto. So that comment by the head of Coinbase caused a lot of confusion yesterday first, so maybe people thinking that the SEC was a shut down crypto. No, he's talking about crypto staking. Rumors that the SEC would likely get rid of crypto staking in the United States for retail consumers should not be a surprise to you, because the SEC has been talking that it's not appropriate to have crypto staking in the United States. Those comments, of course, were Brian Armstrong, but they should not be a surprise to you if you've been watching Lalate. However, the reaction of the news was likely what you thought. Some people read it as they're shutting down crypto. No, they're trying to shut down crypto staking is what he was referring to. The impact initially was that a lot of the major coins like BIT broke under support levels, and also Decentraland. Support levels which we were watching since last Sunday, and these aren't 1 week support levels. By Friday, the coins came back, but not enough. Throughout Thursday and throughout Friday, we had no stalker coins. Stalker coins are coins we go in and get out at a 50% potential return in one day. We had none of them because this was not particularly good news. So are we over the impact of those Brian Armstrong, CEO Coinbase comments from yesterday? Are we still feeling them going into the weekend? Let's look at the charts right now and let's analyze it left and right. These charts, I will tell you, will look a little bit different than even just an hour ago on afternoons. It's certainly different than this morning's broadcast where we went on over them as well. Here's Decentraland. It's a green chart, obviously up for the day. And BIT, it looks about as bad as it looked about afternoon show today. If you do not realize, Crypto Wall Street Live is now featured on Afternoons LA and Mornings LA on air. So let's look at that chart right now. How troubling is this chart? I'm in the chart with you, and this is the one-day chart on Bitcoin. It's red, it's down, and we have broken through the one-day support level. In fact, we're almost at the lowest the entire day. That one-day support level was 21,800. We broke under it. Let's look at the one-week support level. Yeah, you see the problem there. And let's look at the one-month chart. And these support levels should not be a surprise to you because they've been featured on this channel for over a month. So how do you find the support level? What is support level? Support level is a floor. It's holding the coin above a price level. You don't want to break under the support level because if you don't have support to stay above a price, then you could fall further down. And how do you find the support level? Very simple. We're looking at a 3-month chart. Bitcoin. Gemini is the platform giving us the chart. How do I find the support level? Just look over to the left. When was the last time we were any point lower? You can see it. It's that little flat area on the left. I'm going to put my mouse in the chart right now with you. There we go. It's about 20,800, 20,900. That was our last lower support level, 20,900. How close are we to breaking under that support level right now, live on air? About $1,000 away. Very, very close. Did we break under support level earlier today? Yeah, this support level, 22,000. We broke under that earlier today. And so I said, I don't want to break under that. Well, we did. Now we have this support level, 21,000 and a few pennies. How close are we to it? We're right on the money. We're right on the floor of our support level. Our feet are on the floor. The support level's right underneath us. And we're trying to not break under the floor. How do you find that support level? You look all the way to the left. We're looking at Gemini. We're looking at Bitcoin. And we're looking at a 3-month chart. Why do we know it's 3-month? Because the upper right says 3M. Visually draw a ruler all the way to the left. And when was the last time we were lower? You see that little flat area on the left? That's when we were lower. What happens if we break under that support level? You see that lower left side. You see that far left side. We can go all the way back to that crypto winter problems that we were worried about. We don't want to break under today's support level, which is also our 3-month support level. Why do we know it's 3-month? Look at the upper right. It says 3M. When was the last time we were that low? 3 months. How do we know it? All the way to the left. See that flat area? We don't want to break under that support level because look what happens. Whammo, you fall all the way to 17,000 potentially. So that is the concern across the board. Here's the 1-day chart. Here's the 1-month chart. And now here's the 3-month chart. So we are right at the edge of the support level of 20,000 from 3 months ago. And in my opinion, we are currently in crypto spring. We have come out of crypto winter. But if we don't hold this support level, we're going right back to crypto winter because there's nothing lower. There's no support level under the current support level. And this is why we're really on the edge of a question mark across the board. If you've been watching this channel for the last 2 years, generally coins trade down on Friday into Saturday and trade up on Sunday. We don't know if it's going to repeat itself that way in 2023. This channel is now back into its new year of Crypto Wall Street Live, so the markets are slightly different. But we'll watch it together this weekend with new shows on this channel. If the markets repeat their behaviorisms over the weekend, where we go down on Friday, down on Saturday, and up on Sundays, but I don't want to go any lower because then we're breaking through support levels. Let's look out the 3 months and see how troubling this is. Yeah. You break under the support level right now, folks. You see you're going right back to the thick of winter. And I don't want that to happen. And that is Bitcoin right now. The impact of it, Decentraland. Decentraland was not mirroring Bit in recent days, but it is right now. Here's the 1-day chart. Here is the 1-month chart. We've broken under support level on Decentraland. Here's the 3-month chart. So now you see the impact of that support level to Decentraland as well. Visually, take a ruler in your mind and draw it all the way to the left. It looks like it's everything underneath those little peaks and those little valleys. If we break under that support level, we go all the way to the left side of that graph. Crypto winter. That support level in Decentraland is right around there. 76, 78, 79, 70, 71, 68. It's right around there. You see it. We've tested a few times. One, you can count how many valleys are on that graph. Almost 5. And what happens if we break under that? We could go all the way back to this 40 cents. Oh, we don't want that. We really do not want that. And why do I believe this is happening? I think a little bit is caused by confusion of terminology. I mean, we can only know so much. I saw this quote and I freaked out. And then I realized, oh, he said crypto staking. He didn't say crypto. He said crypto staking. People read very quickly. Sometimes they misread. And it sounded like he was saying Brian Armstrong, they're shutting down crypto in the United States. I don't like quotes like this because it's just, if you miss the word, you think that sounds like they're shutting down crypto. And I think that some people may have misread the quote. I mean, I initially read it and I freaked out. And I read, oh, he said crypto staking. And then if you don't know what crypto staking is, then it's a whole different ball of wax. Now, in the big second half, let's go into what's happening with Wall Street and its impact on this economy as well. What a day it has been. And it started with Expedia that may need to take a trip. Stock was down 2%. And also Lyft, you need to give it a ride because it was down 30% on a massive, massive revenue miss. Plus, what's happening next week? Well, what's happening next week is the excitement of some inflationary data. And the big second half, I'll also be going over my commentary on the end of inflation in the supermarkets. Wow. Plus, I'll be answering Anne's questions about what is artificial intelligence and what is ChatGPT and why was I so excited for Microsoft last week. Let's go over the details on the financial markets starting right now. Bank of America downgraded Deutsche Bank in a major analyst report today obtained by Lalate News. What do they say? Deutsche Bank has now been downgraded to underperform for neutral. So your ratings are overweight, buy, neutral, sell, run for cover. And so Bank of America has downgraded Deutsche Bank to underperform from neutral. We see Deutsche Bank struggling to improve profitability. Do I like Deutsche Bank? No. Would I buy Deutsche Bank? No. Consumer outlook improved in February, though inflation outlook is up as well. The University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Report, which is really based upon who you're asking. If you're asking that person in the House chamber with that horrible white fake fur coat, or was it fake or was it real? What her consumer confidence is. She'll tell you one thing, but I will probably not agree with her. University Commission's consumer confidence sentiment was a 66.4 up from the prior month. And do I care? No, because the consumer is misinformed. If the consumer is misinformed, they're going to give you a wrong number. The aluminum fell to lows not seen in over a month. And the other question mark is, how do you pronounce aluminum? Those people in Europe have a wonderful way to pronounce aluminum. Yeah. But here's where people need to take a ride. Lyft. Lyft was really under pressure today. Uber was featured on this channel over the last 2 weeks. It's been doing really well. I mean, you could see how exciting it has been a stock straight up in recent weeks. Lyft, not the same situation. Lyft was under 30% down today. Weaker guidance for fiscal quarter earnings anticipated $975 million of revenue, basically $1 billion, and it came in much lower than expected. The problem with this market is that two similarly situated companies may deliver very different results, and that's why you can't say, well, I'll buy a Lyft instead of an Uber. Nope. Uber delivered and Lyft didn't. The stock was down 30% after a massive revenue miss, not particularly good across the board. Also, with a surprising miss, and again, you can't generalize with this economy because it'll leave you on the wrong side of the equation. Travel and leisure, all does well? No. Expedia down 2% on its major miss as well. Came in at $1.26 billion revenue versus a $2.628 billion expected, and earnings per share was a massive miss. Not good. Brent crude futures are up. This is on news that Russia will cut crude exports, and then PayPal slipped on after-hours trading yesterday. Revenue came in at $7.38 billion compared to a $7.39 billion, and the CEO said he's also going to be stepping down across the board. Could more stimulus checks be coming to Americans? There are. So we had that expansion of the stimulus check E that was announced by the Biden administration a week ago today. What I want you to do tonight is I want you to focus and see, have you gotten all your checks lined up for February? Go through that membership news and see, have I forgotten a stimulus check, not gotten the application in? Did I not get paid for one? Maybe I forgot to do one of them. Go over them because we're still in the month of February. I like you to always double check on your stimulus. Why were there no breakout coins today compared to yesterday? Let me go over the details right across the board. So the impact of those Brian Armstrong comments yesterday did not help the markets. Again, this is that comment from Brian Armstrong. I believe the markets were confused by his comment, and they thought it meant the SEC shutting down crypto. If you do not know what crypto staking is, or miss the word staking in the sentence, you may have gotten confused by the quote. I know I was initially because I read it very quickly. The second two items I want to go over tonight, the next two items I want to go over tonight are first my commentary on inflation, and next a question for a viewer on a platform and how to be exposed to it to get money. First, inflation. It's really exciting that grocery inflation is really potentially gone. It was 2 days ago that I went to a local market here in West Los Angeles, Santa Monica, and the supermarket was one that, I patronized my entire life, but I had stayed away from for a year and a half because there was no way that I was going to spend hard-earned money on something that's not worth its value. I grew up much of my life seeing a tube of ground turkey about this big, generally about $9 at this one brand, at this one supermarket. And that ground turkey shrunk over last year. Not the turkey, but the packaging shrunk over last year. And the price went from about $9 to $18, almost sometimes $22. Could I get myself to buy that turkey? No, I was not going to be a turkey. I was not going to do that. So what did I do for 2 years? I think it really was 2 years. It was 2020, it was 2021. It was longer than almost the pandemic. I was driving outside of West Los Angeles, Santa Monica, and driving down the South Bay. That's why you saw me so often in the South Bay, because I was going to non-unionized markets and buying turkey that was more potentially reasonably priced. While the grocery stores up here were shrinking the turkey, and raising the price all the way up to like $20. It was just insane. About a week ago, I noticed that the prices had come down, and had not come down to last year prices, but to pre-pandemic prices. Now that original roll of ground turkey, which about 5 months ago was $22, yesterday I paid on sale $6. Can you imagine? It felt wonderful. It really felt wonderful. Again, the price before this all started was about $9. It went all the way up to $20+ in the last few months, and now it's back to $6. It feels really quite wonderful. I think the inflation in these supermarkets was really bad for so many reasons. It hurt the supermarkets because people stayed away from them and they found other ways to get the food. It hurt the employees because they got laid off because there was less consumers and less salaries, less revenue to pay the employees. And it really hurt sentiments. It felt awful being asked to pay 300% more for something you just bought 2 months ago for the same price for 10 years. So I got to tell you, there's nothing more wonderful feeling tonight than going back to a market that you have patronized for over 10 years, and the prices are the best they've been in 3 years. It really is a wonderful feeling. There's nothing worse than feel like that someone is like taking every last penny out of your pocket to charge you for something that is really not worth its value. And to know that's finally over and gone and done with, it's like the end of COVID. It really is. I gotta tell you, I feel like I've been celebrating for the last 2 days and realizing those prices are finally gone. Grocery inflation, at least what I've seen, is now finally gone. It feels like it was long around more than even COVID. It was very, very bad, and it's so exciting to be back to a normal universe when you can go where you want to go, pay the normal prices, and not have to sort of double digit on your scheduling to do things in a strange way. Now, let me go over a question that was asked by Anne. If you have a question about anything that is important for the financial markets or your exposure, ask it to me on private messaging and I'll feature it on air. Anne's question was the following. What is going on with this artificial intelligence? What is ChatGPT? How does it work? How can I get exposure to it? Is it important? And what do I need to know? First, ChatGPT is not particularly that unique. It is basically artificial intelligence. What are versions of artificial intelligence we have lived for the last 5 years with? Number one, Alexa. Hey, Alexa, play Anne's favorite song, Doja Cat. Hey, Alexa, give me a zucchini boat recipe. Alexa will respond based upon your comment. Now, it's a little bit different than that because Alexa is responding to a request. Artificial intelligence is doing something based not upon a request. So it's basically saying, it's like this. Alexa, I want to make dinner. What should I make? Zucchini boat, Anne. You love zucchini boat. So Alexa, in this example, knows the artificial intelligence that Anne likes zucchini boat. And so it's recommending zucchini boat based upon knowing that Anne likes zucchini boat. Why does the artificial intelligence know that Anne likes zucchini boat? Because the artificial intelligence got that information from me and did not pay me for that information. Yeah, there's a big controversy about that artificial intelligence gets information from other people and doesn't pay for the information. And then saves your information. That is how artificial intelligence works. It gives you recommendations based upon your prior behaviors. Is this unique? No, it's been around forever. It's called, for example, cookies. If you've ever gone to, let's say, buy a razor, an electric razor, and you don't buy it, and then you go to another website, and then it says, oh, you want to buy an electric razor? Oh, that was the one I was just looking at. How did you know that? Because it put a cookie on your computer and said, let me recommend that for you to buy it again. Amazon does this. It's been around for decades and decades. So that's a version of artificial intelligence. Is it so groundbreakingly new? No. Is it something technologically that excites me? No, I don't find it very interesting at all, actually. Compared to the metaverse, I find it very bland. I don't find it technologically interesting whatsoever. Now let's go over the financial part of it, which I think was really Anne's question. How can I be financially exposed to it if it really pops? Obviously, the companies that are into the play. First out the door, ChatGPT's owner, Microsoft, MSFT on the NASDAQ. That's the most obvious way to exposure to it. And the next, of course, would be Alphabet, which was under some controversy, series of comments later today. But you really, if you want exposure to ChatGPT, you would buy its owner, which is Microsoft, on the NASDAQ. And don't expect Microsoft to be the only artificial intelligence player. Do I think this is the big new wave of the future? No, I don't. I just think this is sort of the soup of the day. I think it's really just the soup of the day. A lot of news broadcasters just want to find something that's sort of interesting, bring it out, and it's just sort of like, passion fruit for January. In tomorrow's broadcast, we'll be going over more to what to see. Super Bowl weekend, the Phoenix Open, all in the same city for golf and Super Bowl. And will I be here? I will be here. I did get some invites, but, I'd rather be with you. I'll give you the address for some flowers. From the shores of Santa Monica, California. You're doing such a great job. If you have a question about something else you want to be featured on this channel, send it to me. I'll feature it on air. Again, the exposure to artificial intelligence would be Microsoft MSFT on the NASDAQ. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, everything you need to know and everything you need to know when it happens. It's America's most watched show for financial news in prime time. It's every night here at 5 o'clock Pacific time. It starts with the 4 o'clock show on Lalate 3. Crypto Wall Street Live starts every night at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Channel 3. Then at 5 o'clock in prime time on Lalate 1 is the show you're watching potentially right now, Lalate Live. And then at 6 o'clock on Channel 2 is Stimulus Live. Everything you need to know at any moment of the day is always here. It's always across the board, and it's always on LA.